So, there's a new trailer out for this little movie called Hitman, the new movie directed by Richard Linklater. It stars Glen Powell, and it's a movie that's coming out in June, but I luckily was able to see it in October at the New York Film Festival. And I've been waiting to post my review for it for the trailer and the release date to be announced, so I can actually get a review out for all of you to watch and enjoy and kind of get your, see what I think about the film before it actually comes out. Now, Richard Linklater is one of those amazing filmmakers that does not get enough praise. He's made movies, of course, like the Before trilogy, which is really one of the best trilogies of movies ever, specifically the first movie, which is stunningly beautiful. He also made Boyhood, which is a really incredible film. He just has a really nice sense of dialogue, of writing characters, and really grounding us in reality of different worlds, characters, and relationships, and it's his real strength. Like, the Before trilogy is really these two characters just walking around cities and areas just talking for 2 hours, and it works. And it really makes him one of the more interesting filmmakers out there, which is why Hitman is such a weird movie, because it's a real departure from Linklater's trusted and reliable, structure of film. It's a very different film for him, but in the same sense, it is an absolute masterpiece of modern comedy. This is an amazing film. So Hitman is about this guy who works for the police force. He's just like a random dude that just volunteers for the police force and does undercover work, and he ends up becoming very good at being an undercover hitman, going and luring these people into, hiring a hitman to kill somebody that they want to die, and then the police swoop in and arrest them, right? This undercover operation. He becomes very good at it, and it ends up becoming a movie that's kind of similar to something like Master of Disguise, where we're seeing Glen Powell jump into all these different personalities, all these different costumes, ridiculous scenarios to lure people into hiring a hitman, and it works so well. The movie does end up, going into a typical story and a typical structured story, and it ends up becoming kind of sort of like a rom-com that ends up also working extraordinarily well in a way that it probably shouldn't. But the movie never loses sight of what it actually is, which is this really ridiculous comedy that allows for Glen Powell to really flex his muscles when it comes to his range and the different things he could do. He's so good in this movie, and he's able to play essentially so many different characters through this one character, this Gary Johnson dude, and he's just so good, and Glen Powell carries this movie. He's an absolute superstar in this movie, and the one thing that I was thinking watching it is, wow, this guy is going to rule Hollywood for the next decade, and this movie is going to be a massive hit personally for him. He's so good here. The rest of the cast is also good. Adrienne Arjona, I think that's how you pronounce her name, is really good as the secondary lead here. She's funny, she's badass, there's some twists with her character that I just thought were hilarious and kind of not unpredictable, but just so stupid and fit the plot so well. Austin Emilio, who I love from The Walking Dead, he's my guy Dwight. He's great here. He's also funny. He has really good comedic timing and really great ability to work with comedic dialogue, which I've never seen him do, because everything I've seen him in is, more drama-based. But he's extremely well written in this film, extremely well performed. I enjoyed his character a lot. This film, and the one thing I can really stress about it more so than anything, is that it's just fun. This is one of the most fun films I've seen in a while. It's so much fun to watch. The 2-hour runtime flies by. I think it's actually only an hour and a half, but the runtime absolutely flies by. There's constantly funny things happening, funny situations. The story makes sense and is well worth it to stick through and see where it comes to its conclusion. It's smart at times. The twists near the end of the film are really satisfying and work extremely well, but the movie is just a damn good time, and this is a movie that I feel like is going to be a massive hit when it comes out on Netflix in a few months, because it's one of those movies that's so presentable and so engageable for general audiences and people who love cinema. It's a movie that's kind of made for everybody, which is something that's really hard to accomplish in this modern day of cinema, but this is one of those movies that was just so enjoyable. My entire audience had a great time with it. I've yet to see anybody online who had gotten to see the movie that didn't like it. It's just such a fun comedy, and it's something close to what we used to get out of comedies in the early 2000s. Just these movies that fly by, are insanely quotable, have fun characters, and are just connectable for all audiences, and that's what makes this movie so great. It really is a spectacle and a major accomplishment from Linklater in a filmography that is so insane. Like, it's so good. And this might be his best movie. It's certainly his most different movie from anything that I've seen him make. It's a massive success for Glen Powell, who's coming into his own and really becoming this superstar in Hollywood. This is easily his best performance and my favorite movie that I've seen him in. It has a great ensemble of characters, great ideas. The first act is so funny and so ridiculous that I just could not get enough of it. And it's a movie that I honestly can't give anything else other than a 5 out of 5. It is a perfect comedy in my opinion. And if it had come out last year, if it had released publicly last year, it would have been top 5 on my top 30 list of 2023. It would have been top 5 on that list. It'll probably end up being top 5 on my list this year, if not number 1. It's already number 1 right now. It's sitting number 1. It doesn't have much competition. We're competing with like The Beekeeper and Mean Girls. So like it's, you know, not too much competition yet. Wait for Dune. Wait for Dune to come out in a month. But yeah, Hitman, have you seen it? You guys haven't seen it, more than likely. But if you were lucky enough to see it at one of the festivals, I know it was playing at TIFF and a bunch of other different places. Let me know what you thought of it down below. If you haven't seen it and you're excited to see it, let me know down below how excited you are to see it. I'd love to know. Are you interested in seeing Hitman? The teaser was okay. I think the movie's actually a lot better than the small little teaser they put out for it. Do you like any of Richard Linklater's movies? Would you like to see me rank Richard Linklater's movies? Maybe I'll do that. That might be a video in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to like this and subscribe. Click on the video on your screen right now, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.